All right, today's lesson is on area of circles. Your goal right now today is to learn to find the area of circles. We're going to start off just with the basic with finding the area of circles. We'll progress to finding the area of like a semicircle and like about a fourth of a circle here. So basically the thing that you do need to know is the formula for area of a circle. It's A equals pi r squared. And I know when I was your age, I used to just think it was some old man in a robe. You might recognize that guy. And that's not the case of them coming up with the formula. If you can look down here, this will kind of give you an idea. We're talking about the circumference, half of the circumference. Looks like a parallelogram. So that's where the formula came from. You can do a little research and finding out where it came from. So let's start off with the basic here. Let's imagine for some particular reason we've got to find the area of this circle. So the first thing that you want to ask yourself is what does that 18 stand for? Okay, very good. It is the diameter. So this is what I like to do is I like to bring out my formula. Area is equal to pi r squared. We don't have the radius. So what we've got to do is we got to think about what is the radius. Well, the radius, and I'm sorry that I didn't have this set ahead of time, in this example would be 9. So you basically take half of your diameter, and that is going to be your radius. So at this point, we're going to take 9, we're going to square it, which is 81, or multiply by pi. Quite often I'm going to use 3.14 for pi, so if you use a pi button, your answer is going to be slightly larger. You should get an answer of 254 and 3,400 square feet, and obviously if you use the pi button, it's going to be a little bit larger. Okay, that's a basic one. Let's give a moment. If you have to, hit pause and attempt this one. Imagine the possibility that somebody after sports leaves out their shoes and they're not smelling so pleasant here. So nobody within 10 feet can really stand the smell. Take a moment and try to see if you can figure out the area of the circle. You probably wrote down the formula. This one was easier than the last one because you do not have to really do much math. All you got to do is figure out that 10 is the radius, square it, multiply by pi, and you should get an answer of 314 square feet. Hopefully this is easy. What I'm going to do is I'm progressing to the other ones. A later video I will show you if I give you the area how to find the diameter and radius, but we're starting off with the basics. All right, this one is just an application of it. Okay, if you look at the question right here, it says park employees are fitting a top over a circular drain in the park. If the radius of the drain is 14 inches, what is the area of the top that will cover the drain? I'm going to go over this kind of quick, so you might have to hit pause to do this. I'm hoping that the last two were easy for you, so this should be just a nice review. Got your formula, pi r squared. Think about it. I've got what 14 is my radius. I just put it in there. Hit that on your calculator, 14 squared times pi, and you should get this answer. Now again, I've got another one for you. If you do need a little bit more practice, like I said, you might want to hit the pause button. Going to cover spot right here. The diameter is 8 feet, so it's all the way across. So it's kind of one of the smaller ones. What is the area of the cover that needs to be made? Type out your formula. Thinking back to this one right here, spot is 8 feet, and that's the diameter, so I've got to do 4. And obviously it's a good thing to do 4 squared is 16, not 8. Some kids will make that simple mistake. And you should get an answer of 50 and 2,400 square feet. Okay, now those are the basic ones. We're going to try to move over onto another one, and then obviously I said you can pause this if I am going a little too fast for you. I like these type of questions because this really knows, I should say, really shows that you understand the formula. So, find the area of the shaded region. We've got a circle. So what a lot of times I recommend is thinking about this. Okay, I've got pi r squared for my circle. Now that's the whole circle. What part is shaded? Just half of it. So what I have to do quite often is I actually have to put a half in here, and sometimes I will forget that, and I've got to do it a little bit later. So I'm going to put a half in front since this is half of a circle, and then I just go about like I normally would. Well, what's my radius? 1.5. So I am going to square that. If I would have done the area of the circle, I would have gotten 7 and 65 thousandths square feet. Okay, sorry about that. I do a lot of copy and pasting. I meant to say centimeters squared. And then all I've got to do is divide that by 2, and that's the answer that I should have. And if you rounded it, you probably got it to 3 and 5300 centimeters squared. So same as we normally do. This is the radius. I'm just going to square it, but this time I'm going to take a half. Could I divide by 2? Yes. Get the same answer. Can I multiply by 5/10? Yes. Always get the same answer. But make sure that you are going through your order of operations and squaring first. Most of your scientific calculators will do that for you. If you need a little bit more, I've got almost the same thing down below here. This time we got 15 all the way across. And it's just this section right here that is shaded. So if you have to practice this, hit pause and see if you get the same answer I do. So again, we went with a equals pi r squared. At the half of it, so I'm going to put half in there. Okay, think back to this one. All right, if 15 is all the way across, I believe that's a diameter, so I want to say that the radius would be 7.5 feet. Going through and doing the calculations on this one, hopefully this is correct. I might have copied and pasted, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one more time. 7.5 squared times 3.14. Yep, and I do get 176 and 625 thousandths square feet. I have to take half of that, and this is my overall answer. So hopefully you did well. Okay, so we've done semicircles. Semicircle, this one was the radius, this one the diameter. Let's try something a little bit different. Take a look down here. We're going to find the area of a circle, and then you're going to want to think about is okay, what part of the circle am I dealing with? Maybe I've got a sprinkler system that keeps spraying back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth, and only waters part of the lawn. If you realize when individuals set up sprinkler systems, they're going to overlap a little bit. But let's imagine that you're a rookie, you don't realize this, and you're going to leave out part of your lawn. And let's think, okay, what part of the lawn is going to be green throughout the warm summer? So, got an example for here. If you're a visual person, you can kind of start to think okay, what part of the circle do I have right here? To me, it looks like I have a fourth of the circle. So I got to remember that when I'm starting my formula. So I'm going to do pi r squared. What do I need to do? I need to do a fourth. Can I divide by 4 later? Sure. Can I multiply by 25 hundredths? Sure. It's all going to work. So I've got to put that in there. That's showing me and anybody else that's looking at my work that I only have a fourth of the circle. So when I go through my math, the nice thing is I believe this is going to be my radius because it's going to be 22 feet from the center to the sprinkler's going to hit out about 22 feet consistently all the way out here. So I've got to go 22, type that in there. If you do the math, and hopefully I do have the correct answer in here, you're going to take 22 squared, then you're going to multiply it by 3.14, and you should get the answer that I have up here of 1,519.76 hundredths. Now all you got to do is take a fourth of it. You can use, a lot of your calculators have that fraction button in there, 1 ABC4, or dividing by 4, exact same thing. And you should get 379 and 94 hundredths square feet. Okay, I hope this was helpful to you. You've got your formula for area of a circle. What you always got to remember is you're using a radius. Don't do that simple mistake of accidentally doubling your radius. You're going to actually have to square it. If you have a fourth of a circle, well, you're going to divide by 4, take a fourth of it. If you have a half of a circle, don't forget to divide by 2 or take a half of it. You should do well on this one, and I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know.